Well, you will not believe what went down on Christmas night. President Trump absolutely destroyed the narrative. He took massive action, and the establishment and mainstream media are in a total panic. And by the way, when they're panicking, that means Donald Trump is doing something right, because they have been against him from day one. But while everybody was celebrating the holidays, and hopefully you got to celebrate it with your loved ones, Donald Trump was busy and active. In fact, he issued a very strong warning and followed through with bold, decisive moves, wiping out major threats overseas in a stunning display of leadership, and then dropping truth bombs regarding Jeffery's scandal that's now completely backfiring on his opponents, aka the Democrats, who, also wanted this information released, which I did as well. But either way, I've got a huge story to share with you today. Donald Trump is not holding back. He is protecting lives, and he is demanding accountability unlike any president we've seen before. And today, I'm going to break down the entire story, all the shocking details, all the reactions, and why everything changed Christmas night. I've got a lot to share with you, so hold on tight. So let's dive into what happened on Christmas night. What did Donald Trump say on his Truth Social page? In fact, he had not one bombshell, but two separate ones. And I'm going to start with the one he posted first, kind of going in order here. But here it is. And here's what he states. Donald Trump says, "Tonight, at my direction as commander-in-chief, the U.S. launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS scum in northwest Nigeria, who have been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels seen for many years and even centuries. I have previously warned them that if they did not stop the slaughtering of Christians, there would be hell to pay. And tonight, on Christmas, there was. The Department of War executed numerous perfect strikes, as only the U.S. is capable of doing. Under his leadership, our country will not allow radical terrorists to prosper. May God bless our military, and Merry Christmas to all, including those dead terrorists, of which there will be many more if their slaughter of Christians continue." And he puts his signature there, Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. You know what? I applaud the president for this. For far too long, we have seen the massive prosecution and massive deaths of tens of thousands of Christians over the years. Here's what I'm talking about. Just in 2025 alone, over 7,000 Christians were killed. No one should have to suffer this. I don't care if you're a Catholic. I don't care if you're a Jew. I don't care if you're a Muslim. Whatever your religion, right? You shouldn't be killed for that religion. And here it is. And this is on the Christian Post. Over 7,000 Christians killed in Nigeria so far in 2025, according to a watchdog. And it says extremists and radicalized herder militias have killed over 7,000 Christians within the first 220 days of 2025. A new report from civil society organization estimates as human rights advocates continue to criticize the Nigerian government's inability to protect Christians. And quite frankly, the government over there has been purposefully looking the other way, right? But here's kind of the breakdown of it. The brutal massacre of an estimated 7,087 Christians and abduction of 7,800 others, we're talking nearly 15,000 people, also translated to an average of 30 Christian deaths per day and more than one per hour. Heartbreaking. Inner Society's report reads, an estimated 35 Christians are also calculated to have been abducted daily and roughly 2 others per hour in the said past 220 days or 7 months and 10 days of 2025. Now, here's kind of an overall: tens of thousands of Nigerian Christians have been killed in the last decade, and many others have been displaced amid the rise of extremist groups like Boko Haram and the Islamic State in the Northwest, and the increase of attacks carried out by radicalized Fulani militias against predominantly Christian communities in the Middle Belt states. So there is kind kind of that breakdown. And isn't it sad that through the years, none of our presidents have said anything about this until Donald Trump got involved. In fact, Nicki Minaj, the singer, the rapper, came out and she's like, yeah, I applaud Donald Trump for finally calling out the Christian prosecutions happening in Nigeria. Now, if you want more information on what's really going on, for one, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. YouTube likes to unsub people. Give mainstream media their BFF, the family-friendly middle finger, and subscribe to channels like mine that are getting the truth out. Because the mainstream media is in a panic right now that Donald Trump has done this to Nigeria. Literally all Donald Trump has done is save lives and went after the extremist people who are killing people, right? And the mainstream media, of course, has an issue with this. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, hit that like button, and share the video. It's the only way it literally gets out. But more than ever, get to restrictedrepublic.com right now and sign up today. Use the coupon code Lisa and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. Look, it's less than a cup of coffee, less than a glass of wine or beer in some cases. And we have exclusive content. All the content that you see in our exclusive section is just that. It's exclusive to the platform. We're not posting it anywhere else. And it's that stuff that the mainstream media does not want you to hear about. So subscribe to Restricted Republic. I'm going to be doing a huge report today that you're not going to want to miss, kind of a extended version, if you will. And I encourage you to check it out. I can't wait to post it for you today. But with that, right? Maybe you don't applaud Donald Trump for doing that, but I think most of my audience will. I can't wait to hear your comments. But I think that this is good news for Christian because we're going to be saving some lives. But with that, Donald Trump also had something else to say on Christmas night. In fact, he posted this shortly after the other one, about 5 o'clock-ish in the afternoon on Christmas Day. And here's what he says. Merry Christmas to all, including the sleazebags who loved Jeffrey and gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things didn't get too hot, and falsely claim they had nothing to do with him. They didn't even know him. He's just a disgusting person. And then blame, of course, the president, Donald J. Trump, who was actually the only one who did drop Jeff a long time before it became fashionable to do so. And that's true. He kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago, right? Nobody else did that, right? Well, when their names, talking about his opponents, right, got brought out in the ongoing radical left witch hunt, plus one low-life Republican, Massey, and it is revealed that they are Democrats, there will be a lot of explaining to do, much like there was when they made it public regarding Russia, and the Russia hoax that was a scam, a fake story. And it had nothing to do with Donald Trump. The failing New York Times, among others, was forced to apologize for their bad and faulty reporting, even to the point of losing many subscribers due to their inaccurate fake coverage. Now, all the same losers are at it again, only this time, so many of their friends, mostly innocent, will be badly hurt and reputationally, their reputations tarnished. But sadly, that's the way it is in the world of corrupt Democrat politics. Enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas, Donald J. Trump. And then shortly after that, early this morning, he drops this at like 5 in the morning. Democrats push for Jeff Files boomerang with Clinton featured predominantly throughout. In other words, the Democrats are kind of, eating their own right now. They called for the release of the files, and now it's exploding in their faces because their own people are inside of it. AKA Clinton is in a lot of it. It's rather sick and disturbing, by the way, but here it is. And this is on Just the News. Democrats push for Jeff Files boomerang with Clinton featured predominantly throughout. Democrats push for the release of documents surrounding the convicted offender and disgraced financier Jeffery through a House vote, and it appears to have backfired, as the disclosures intended to scrutinize President Trump and his team have instead spotlighted their own party's connection, including former President of the United States, Bill Clinton, and prominent photos, basically, by the way, with him throughout. And if you didn't see my report on that, I did one just a few days ago. It's on YouTube and on Restricted Republic, so get there and check it out. But there's a lot of questionable stuff with their own Democrat. Now, he wasn't the only Democrat that was on there. As you know, Democrat Stacey Plaskett also was busted in changing text messages with Jeffery, during a hearing, right? So we also have that. Oh, and that's not all. Then we've got some other Democrat names out there who featured many previously who are featured in Jeff's files there, but they include people like Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, Bill Gates, and Diana Ross. Some of those which are Democrats, right? I think David Copperfield was also featured in some of that. But there you have it. These are the kinds of things that are blowing up in their faces. So Merry Christmas, Democrats. There's your present. And now we know that there are at least 1 million-ish more files that they're going to be releasing. They were supposed to have them all released, and the DOJ doesn't yet because there's a lot of redactions that they still have to make regarding the victims. But anyway, I feel like there's going to be some more bombshells coming out, especially with what Donald Trump said. And I hope you caught it in the second post that he posted on Christmas Day, because he goes, enjoy what may be your last Merry Christmas. In other words, I think he's saying, when the DOJ releases those files, there's more of you Democrats that could very well be in that. Anyhow, can't wait to hear your comments and concerns on all of that. I love you all, and I hope you had a great Christmas. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.